All right, today we're jumping into the deep end. We're going to try and demystify Martin Heidegger's contributions to philosophy. And this is a tricky one. It's so dense, so personal, he actually never even intended for it to be published. So let's get into it. Heidegger basically kicks things off with a question that's designed to pull the rug out from under our entire modern world. It's not about, do we have the right answers? It's about, are we even asking the right questions in the first place? He had this radical idea that Western thought took a major wrong turn thousands of years ago, and we are all living in the fallout. And what makes this text so wild is where it comes from. This isn't some polished, buttoned-up argument he was making for the public. Nope. This is a raw, unfiltered peek directly into his mind as he's wrestling with this massive crisis. It's like we get to be a fly on the wall in the philosopher's own workshop. Okay. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with his diagnosis of our world adrift. Then we'll dig into what he says is the root cause, something he calls the abandonment by being. From there, we'll see the symptoms in machination versus meaning, and then we get to his solution, a new beginning, which all revolves around this mysterious idea of being. And finally, we'll wrap up with the challenge he leaves for all of us, having the courage to question. First things first, Heidegger's diagnosis of the modern age. He looked around and saw a world that had completely lost its bearings, just adrift in this ocean of meaninglessness. So at the very heart of this whole crisis is this profound act of forgetting. And we're not talking about forgetting your keys or a historical date. We've forgotten what it even means to be astonished by existence itself. The biggest problem, he says, is our complete lack of a sense of the problem. We don't even realize how lost we are. Now, Heidegger gives this crisis a very strange, very philosophical-sounding name. He calls it the abandonment by being. So what on earth does that mean? Let's break it down. Okay, think of it like this. Beings, with a lowercase b, that's all the stuff in the world. Chairs, trees, your phone, me. But being, with a capital B, is the mysterious, awe-inspiring event that lets all that stuff show up for us at all. Heidegger's point is that we've gotten so obsessed with controlling and managing the things that the wonder of their sheer existence has just faded away. The world has become a warehouse full of resources, not a place of wonder. And you can actually see this abstract idea everywhere in modern life. He points to 3 key symptoms. First, calculation. Everything is a resource to be optimized, measured, and controlled. Second, speed. This constant, frantic rush for the next new thing, with zero patience for anything that takes time. And third, what he calls the massive, this obsession with numbers, quantity over quality, where something is only valuable if it's popular or goes viral. Sound familiar? So this all leads to the big tension of our time, this battle between what Heidegger calls machination and our desperate search for real, genuine meaning. Now, machination isn't just about machines or technology. It's way bigger than that. It's a total worldview. It's the impulse to turn absolutely everything, a forest, a piece of art, even our own lives, into a project to be managed, a problem that needs solving, or a resource we can exploit. It's the engine that runs our world. And the other side of this cold, calculating coin is this frantic obsession with lived experiences. And you'd think that'd be the antidote, right? But Heidegger says no, it's just another symptom. It's a distraction. It's a way of feeling intensely alive that actually keeps us splashing around the shallows, and it stops us from doing the deep, difficult thinking we need to do to face our real situation. Okay, so if we're trapped between this cold calculation on one side and shallow distractions on the other, what's the way out? Well, Heidegger's answer is pretty radical. It's not a new political party or a new set of rules. It's a leap into a completely different way of thinking. And to get a sense of just how huge this shift is, check this out. For over 2,000 years, Western philosophy, what he calls the first beginning, started with a sense of wonder and was all about finding certainty and answers. Heidegger's other beginning starts from a place of dread about our crisis. It doesn't want answers. It wants to deepen the questions. It's not another chapter in the book of philosophy. It's a leap out of that book entirely. And let's be clear, this is not some simple 4-step self-help plan. This is a life-altering journey.
It means you have to first truly feel that spiritual emptiness of our time. Then you make a decisive break from that purely calculative mindset. And then you have to cultivate restraint, which is really the courage to just be quiet and listen instead of constantly doing.
Now, to even begin to talk about this new way of thinking, Heidegger knew he couldn't use the old words. They were just loaded with too much philosophical baggage from the last 2 millennia. So he does something really deliberate and kind of brilliant. He takes the German word for being, sein, and he uses an old, archaic spelling for it, sane. This is not a typo. Think of it as a philosophical stop sign. He's warning us, hey, pay attention. We're in totally new territory now. And this is the absolute key. Being is not a thing. It's not a static concept you can get your head around and define. It is an event. It's the active, dynamic, mysterious happening of truth itself, a process that is always unfolding, always both revealing and hiding itself. And we can't control it. The only thing we can do is be open to it. Which brings us to our final section and the real takeaway here. See, Heidegger doesn't leave us with a neat little package of answers. He leaves us with a profound and ongoing challenge. Man, this quote is just staggeringly on point for today, isn't it? Just think about our world. The endless scrolling, the 24/7 news cycle, the constant notifications. Heidegger would look at all of that and call it a gigantic arrangement specifically designed to distract us, to outscream that deep, quiet dread we might feel if we ever actually sat still and encountered being. And so that's the question he leaves us with. This isn't just some dusty academic exercise. It's an urgent, pressing call to action. In our world, which is just drowning in information and obsessed with calculation, his challenge is more important than ever. How do we actually step back from all the noise and relearn the quiet, difficult, courageous art of genuine thinking?